For Megan and Anthony, this is their love story. It started June 2002 at one of the most romantic places on earth, the High Tor Bowling Alley. Megan was on a bowling team with her friends and her ex-boyfriend. Anthony bowled on another team with his friends and his brother. Now, Anthony noticed Megan before, but he didn't realize that that man that he thought was a boyfriend was truly an ex. As soon as he realized Megan was unattached, Anthony devised a plan because he's always the thinker. So he sent his wingman, Ben, to ask her to hang out with him and a group of the friends after bowling. Now Meg, she was thrilled. Okay, not really. Actually, Meg's attitude was more like, well, why not? After all, she's newly single and might as well get back out there. Later that night, they all went back to Megan's house and they went swimming. Yep. So Anthony got to see more than blue jeans and t-shirts. Yep. And that is when Anthony said to himself, I gotta have her as my girlfriend. And with that thought, he invited her to see the Bowland fireworks from his brother's boat. That was the 3rd of July. And not only were there fireworks in the skies, there was also fireworks in his brother's boat. Yep. To make Anthony turn even more red than what you see now, that is where they shared their first kiss. After the fireworks, they all went back to Bayview Club, where Meg decided to leave Anthony to hang out with her friends. Atta girl, love him and leave him. The next day, Meg called, which took guts, Anthony, to come on over to her aunt's house. Anthony, being still annoyed, decided to play hard to get and said, no thanks. But if you'd like to come to a party with me later that night, we'd love to have you. And what did Meg say? Okay. It was from that night on, they knew there'd be no more playing games. As far as Anthony was concerned, she was his. And a few days later, they actually had their first official date. And that was at Pyman. And then to Meg's house to watch a movie. A movie that would truly cement their relationship. Is everybody ready? Shrek. Yep, nothing seals a relationship like Shrek. A few weeks later, on July 20th, Megan was going to Saranac Lake with her family. She asked Anthony to come with her, and that evening, they decided to make their relationship official. Before they went to bed, in separate rooms, Anthony whispered in Megan's ear, I think I'm falling in love with you. Megan's response was, me too. From that night on, for the next 6 years, Megan and Anthony would be inseparable. About a year after that evening, Anthony and Megan got their first apartment together and started to save for their dream to own their own home before becoming husband and wife. Their dream was finally realized 2 years ago when they bought their first home. Now, as anyone who's ever owned a house knows, it's time consuming. And if you ever saw the money pit, you fully understand what I'm saying. And Meg in Anthony's case, nothing could be more true. Time clicked by, and before you knew it, it was almost a year had passed. And still, no proposal from Anthony.
Smart man!
Megan hoped it was coming, but when? She had pointed out to Anthony what type of ring she liked. What Meg didn't know was Anthony had actually been ring shopping since the beginning of summer. Finally, he had the perfect ring, and all that was left to do was pick the perfect day to propose. Now Meg, our strong, beautiful bride, told Anthony, who half-heartedly listened, that she did not want to be proposed on a special day, like Christmas or birthday. So Anthony, the good man who listens, wanted to propose in a totally surprising way. And he decided to propose to her on her birthday, October 27th. That morning, Anthony made her breakfast and planned on taking her to a favorite restaurant, which is Fridays, for lunch. Before they left, Anthony gave her her first present, which was a Precious Moments statue. And he told her there'd be another present coming later. Not thinking of it, Megan got ready to leave. Anthony had planned a little get-together that evening for her birthday, so after Fridays, they decided to go shopping and pick up a few things. Well, that was the plan, but as some of you know, Fridays always goes right through Anthony. So needless to say, I know it's a lot of information, but this is Anthony. Needless to say, Anthony needed to run back home first. As he headed up the stairs, Megan asked him, "Would you please bring down my sneakers?" Seeing the perfect moment, Anthony slipped the ring box in one of her sneakers. And once he came down, he handed Megan her sneakers and sat down on the living room table. As she started to put on her sneaker, he stopped her. And he pulled out a black box and opened it and said, "Will you marry me?" And of course, we all know Meg's answer. And that's how we got here today, joining Anthony and Megan in celebrating their love for each other. A love that started 6 years ago in a bowling alley. And today, where you see two people so in love that they cannot imagine one day without each other. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Anthony and Megan Petty.